You are Locked On Hurricanes Postcast, part of Locked On Sports Miami on the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
Oh, what is up, Canes fans? Another Saturday, another walk in the park for our 10th-ranked Hurricanes. How about that performance today against Ball State? That's right, blowout city, 62-0. The Miami Hurricanes get it done today at The Rock. A brilliant performance from start to finish by this team. A little bit of a slow start after the 2.5-hour weather delay. Getting a little bit nervous there. I got a 3-hour radio show to do tonight on ESPN Radio across the country. Shameless plug. But we're here right now with your Locked On Canes postcast on the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day. Jim Greasehaber. Call me Grease. It's all about that you, baby. And what a win tonight it was. First things first, I grease freaks all the honeys and let you know, Locked On Canes postcast. Your first listen every day is free, part of the Locked On Podcast Network. It's on YouTube, wherever you get your podcast as well. Your team every single day. And this particular episode, this show tonight is brought to you by our friends at, what time is it? Game Time. What time is it? Game Time. It is Game Time. Tonight's episode brought to you by Game Time. That's right. Download the Game Time app, create an account, use the code LOCKEDONCollege for $20 off your first purchase. What time is it? Game Time. Use that Game Time app to get some Canes tickets right now because this team is legit number 10 and climbing. College football landscape changing a little bit week by week. The ACC is miserable, so the Canes keep winning, win that championship, get right into that playoff, and the season will literally start then. Now, this could be the rebuilding year, could be the year before the year. Actually, it could be the year before the year before the year. We're not sure. That depth we're not really sure where all that depth sits right now. I'll say that Emory Williams looks really good in that two-hole at the QB position. But what a night for Cam Ward and the Miami Hurricanes, taking out Ball State after the 2.5-hour weather delay in Miami. But it was literally from the beginning, from the jump for Miami. I mean, look, it's a 5-minute drive, 11 plays, 71 yards. It stalls in the red zone. They end up with a Borregales field goal to get on the board first. Then it's Cam Ward, Xavier Restrepo, man, 21 yards, the TD. It's 10-0 Miami. At the end of the first, little bit of a slow start for the Canes. They let Ball State gain a couple of yards early in this game. Nothing after that. We'll get to that defense in a minute, but how about the second quarter? Cam Ward to Chris Johnson Jr., 37 yards for a touchdown. That's at the 251 on that drive, 446 mark, right? 3 touchdowns in literally less than 3 minutes, 3 minutes and 10 seconds if you want to know exact time there. But the 2 touchdowns in 23 seconds from 153 to 130, that's the turning point of the game. And I regret to tell you this, guys, right now, we have artwork for all of this, but I don't know where in the world we're going to look. Like, there's the final score right there. It's blocked. I don't know why. I can't figure this out. I'm nuts. I'm crazy. I'm sorry for that. But Cam Ward, 5 touchdown passes, and then the moment, Restrepo's second touchdown reception of the day. They got the interception in between, and that was all she wrote. And that was a beautiful stretch of football by the Miami Hurricanes. It absolutely beautiful stretch. In that time frame, in 23 seconds, they scored a touchdown, they got an interception, and they scored another touchdown. And to me, that was exactly where the game got away. You know what I'm saying? Exactly where the game got away. Touchdown, interception, touchdown in that time frame. And it was some Caden Samanza intercepted by Elijah Lofton, and the return of 3 yards, short field for Cam Ward. But the defense, unbelievable today. Again, just an incredible effort by them, and you just can't say enough about what they've done so far this season. They pitched their first shutout of the year on the defensive side of the football, and an unbelievable effort there, right, by the Miami Hurricanes on defense. Listen to this, right? They held Ball State to 9 first downs. They held Ball State to 115 total yards. They got the turnover, the interception, but this team had scored over 40 in their first game. So 115 total yards, 9 first downs, 1 for 12 on third down, 0 for 1 on fourth down. Listen to this, right? Literally 6 yards on 20 rushing attempts. 6 yards on 20. 0.3 yards per carry. This Miami run defense pinned their ears back. They had it going throughout the game, and Ball State didn't know what hit them. This is exactly what you expected if you watched Locked On Canes with Alex Donno and I yesterday with the preview, and thankfully so many of you did. The number's huge. We really appreciate all the support. Locked On Canes, the Locked On Canes postcast right here. Obviously, wherever you get your podcasts, and then separately on the YouTube. But between myself and Alex Donno, we give you that great coverage of the Canes. And then with the Dolphins, Kyle Krabs and myself, it's me, it's Alex, it's Kyle. They do the shows every day. I got the postcast. It's the triangle. It's the rock in here. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, the Canes with another big win today. That defense coming up huge. And Cam Ward. I said in the show yesterday with Alex Donno, I said he reminds me so much of Jim Kelly when he was at the U. And yes, I am that old, but he was the same size, is the same size as Jim Kelly, just 1 inch shorter, maybe 2 pounds lighter, right? Kelly, the toughness, the poise, unflappable, so calm. Jim Kelly, that toughness, that mindset. Cam Ward, so much like him. So much like him. You just cannot rattle him. He's so calm, so cool out there. And I love the way that he just gets things done. Every single game, he's looking better and better. And he is looking like a Heisman Trophy winner right now. You got a lot of games to go. A lot of big-time opponents to play. And, of course, I'm being facetious. That might be a little bit of a joke about the big-time opponents. But 10 points in the first, then it was 21 in the second, 10 in the third, 21 points in the fourth. And, man, what a night for the Miami Hurricanes. And the weather was not good to start this game. The ball's wet. It's a wet field. But no problem there for Cam Ward. 19 of 28, 346, 5 touchdowns. Count them, 5. No interceptions for Cam Ward. Another beautiful night for him. Alex and I had talked about how we wanted to see more from the running game. Well, Damien Martinez, 3 carries for 3 yards. Mark Fletcher, 6 for 53. A lot of that late, but hey, Jordan Lyle again with another touchdown, by the way, 11 carries, 71 yards. The freshman from St. Thomas Aquinas, another touchdown already. A.J. Allen, 7 for 104. So the home run hitters getting in the mix with the big boys, Fletcher and Martinez. And then you got the receivers. Jacolby George, 6 for 109 and a touchdown. Arroyo, 2 for 53 and a touchdown. Johnson Jr., 3 for 53 and the score. Ray Joseph, 2 for 52. Elijah Lofton, 2 for 51 and the touch. Xavier Restrepo, 3 for 47. 2 touchdowns. Sam Brown, 5 for 44. Isaiah Horton, 3 for 34. Riley Williams, Mark Fletcher, Joshisha Trader, and Cam McCormick, all with catches in this game as well. The defense pinned their ears back from the start. And, oh, man, what a nice night for Miami. The D with a really good game and a lot of pressure on the quarterback. Again, you know, you're seeing those guys up front really get that push and really do things that you haven't seen in a long time with the Miami Hurricanes. When you start seeing defensive linemen rotating in and you're not seeing a drop-off from one unit to the next, different units of receivers coming in, no drop-off, defensive backs, no drop-off. That's when you start noticing when you have that level of talent to maybe take this thing all the way back to the top with the numbers going crazy. In the room right now, this is your Locked On Canes postcast. I'm Jim Greasehaber. Call me Grease. In case you're new to the show, right? We're 3-0, class of 96. It's all about that. You, Alex, and I are both alums. This is not a replacement show for Locked On Canes. It's in addition to. Alex is still here every day. We do a crossover show every Friday. The numbers are through the roof. Just wanted you to know there are 2 handsome bald dudes right here with your Locked On Canes. It's just not just Alex, and it's not just the podcast, it's the postcast too. But look at what this team is doing. The crowd was really into the game. It just feels so different from years past. And if you look at what Wisconsin did today, who was our quarterback before? He left after that. What was his name? My partner on ESPN Radio a little bit later, Gabe Neitzel, is in Wisco. He's a Wisconsin Badger, and he's like, yeah, you can have your guy back. I'm like, who? Who was that? What? I'm an owl all of a sudden. Who? Nah, we just got Cam Ward. We don't care about anybody else we used to have right now because Cam Ward went nuts in this game. Allen with a 56-yard touchdown and a beautiful performance by the Miami Hurricanes tonight. How you feeling, Miami? How you feeling? All about that you. How we feeling? Canes Nation. Right now, how we feeling? Let us know. Florida State was great today against Memphis, weren't they? Rock and Rant in the chat. Bang. We win, they lose. Notre Dame got back on track, but they lost last week. That's always good when that happens, and a nice job by Miami winning the game. They're supposed to win. They blow them out, And next week is a test on the road at USF. We'll talk about that game later in the show. Will it be a Dynasty redo in Coral Gables? Is the storm surge headed the way of the rest of the nation? Is this the year? Is it the year before the year? Is it the year before the year? Before the year. We'll discuss that a little bit later in the show when we come back, looking at the numbers, looking at the defense, looking at the possessions. What makes this Miami team so much different and so special moving forward? All that and more still to come. It's Locked On Canes Postcast on the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. Jim Greasehaber, call me Grease. It's all about that you, baby. All right, be right back in just a second. Right after I remind you that it's passion, it's drive, and it's patience. The formula for winning championships is also what keeps your ride or die alive. And I am talking about eBay Motors having everything you need to maintain your vehicle and level it up to peak performance. That's right, superchargers, roof racks, exhaust kits, LED headlights, and more. Whether you're into speed, power, style, eBay Motors has you covered. With over 122 million parts for your number one ride or die, you'll always find exactly what you're looking for. And with eBay Guaranteed Fit, your parts guaranteed to fit your ride every time or your money back. Because with eBay Motors, you're burning rubber, not cash. With all the parts you need at the prices you want, it's easy to make your car the MVP and bring home huge wins. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only, exclusions apply. eBay Guaranteed Fit, only available to U.S. customers. That's right. What an awesome night it is to be a Miami Hurricane fan. And this is just a bonus for you. If you have a small business and you're hiring, you want to find quality professionals that are right for the role, kind of like Cam Ward coming in. Transfer portal, baby. Perfect at quarterback U. We are back, and you have to check out LinkedIn Jobs if you want to find a fit like that for your team. LinkedIn Jobs has the tools you need to help find the right professionals for your team faster and for free. That's right. LinkedIn isn't just a job board. Helps you hire professionals you can't find anywhere else, even those who are not actively searching for a new job but might be open for the perfect role. In a given month, over 70% of LinkedIn users do not visit other leading job sites. So if you're not looking on LinkedIn, you're looking in the wrong place. 86% of small businesses get a qualified candidate within 24 hours on LinkedIn, where you can hire professionals like a professional. Again, on LinkedIn. LinkedIn knows small businesses wearing so many hats and might not have the time or resources to hire. LinkedIn is constantly finding ways to make the process easier. They even just launched a feature that helps you write job descriptions, making the process even easier and quicker. Look, 2.5 million small businesses use LinkedIn for hiring. Post your job for free at linkedin.com/lockedoncollege. That's linkedin.com/lockedoncollege to post your job for free. Terms and conditions apply. Don't they always? There we go. Jim Greasehaber, call me Grease on the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every single day. And I am pumped to tell you again, 62-0, the Miami Hurricanes pounce on Ball State from the start. A little bit slow in the beginning, but some of the things that really stood out to me tonight. And again, we have these graphics that we're trying to get going for you, and you can't really see them, so try to put it up there, and we'll take down this LinkedIn overlay real quick. There you go. But yeah, we can't really see those things, and I'm trying to get these down. I don't know why that doesn't fit around. Cam Ward, 5 touchdown passes. He's the player of the game. That's Cam's picture behind there. Then the moment, the turning point right there. See, if I take myself down, I lose my sound. That was the moment, right? Restrepo's second touchdown, capping off those 2 touchdowns in 23 seconds with the interception in between. So here is, right now, Cam Ward, the player of the game. And your final score. See that? I have to remove myself, pop myself back in, just pop me back in, take me out, teleport me everywhere. It's 62-0. Who cares where I am? That's what mattered in today's game. A brilliant performance. The Miami offensive line has to be one of the best in the country. They have to be, and it's a couple of bad penalties today. The hand going in the helmet and inside the face mask, and that's a fluke, things like that. But one of the best offensive lines in America, man. This team, and it's not necessarily reflected in the overall rushing yards, and they did have 243 yards on the ground today, 750 total yards, 507 yards passing for the Miami Hurricanes today. 507. Cam had 346 and 5 before he broke a sweat in this game. So they outgained Ball State 750 to 115. That's a school record for yards in a game. Biggest shutout win over an FBS opponent in Miami history. That tops the game against Rutgers in 2001. Remember 2001? That year ended up with me on the field at the Rose Bowl after we blew out Nebraska and won that national title. So that's what happened in 2001. And this team is kind of headed in that direction, or at least it's looking like it, with Cam Ward looking a lot like Ken Dorsey, more like Jim Kelly. We talked about that a while back, but Ward, 3 straight 300-yard games to start the season. Restrepo caught 2. George, Arroyo, and Chris Johnson Jr. all caught him from Cam. 5-touchdown game from Cam, the 10th by a Miami quarterback, one shy of the school record of 6 touchdowns in 2019 set by Jaron Williams. It came on a weekend when Miami celebrated the 35th anniversary of the 1989 team winning the national title. You remember Craig Erickson, Dennis Erickson's first year. The 3rd and 43 against Notre Dame to Randall Thrill Hill. They had a young offensive lineman on that team named Mario Cristobal, who is now a great head coach and recruiter for the University of Miami. A.J. Allen, Jordan Lyle, big runs for the Canes. And yeah, they just demolished Ball State today. And how about Cam Ward through 3 games? You ready? 1,035 yards, 11 TDs, 1 interception, completing 73% of his passes for Miami. He played 7 series, 5 ending in touchdown passes. Imagine, minus the 1-play drive at the end of the half to just kill the clock. But what a night for Cam Ward. What a great game for the Miami Hurricanes yet again, and just an unbelievable performance all the way across the board. 2.5 hours, lightning in the area. And I'll tell you what, just crazy for this game with Miami. The difference in speed between the two teams was evident, obviously, and really the offensive line. Jalen Rivers was out coming into this game. Ryan Rodriguez and Anez Cooper limped off the field in the first half. So Miami going to stay in the top 10, and a big, big win for them. Ward, 1,000 yards in the first 3 games. First guy to do it in the first 3 games of the season since Craig Erickson, who had 1126 in 1990. That was the year they lost to BYU in the opener. Big disappointment that year. But Ward, 89 yards away from 15,000 in his career, counting the 13,876 he had at where is that? Where did that go? There it is, at Incarnate Word and Washington State. Obviously, that was that as well. And we are looking momentarily to get Alex Donno to join us here in the chat room, and or in the show rather, not in the chat room. And I just remembered that I have to send Alex a link, and I forgot to do it. So I don't know where I can do that from right now. Let's see. Invite. There we go. Copy. And I would just go email this link to Alex real quick and get him in here if we can. Alex, of course, does the post-game show for WQAM Radio in Miami, and he's going to join us here in a second if he can. I'm supposed to send him a link earlier in the show. But I got so excited, guys, with this win and everything going on, and it's just really nice to be in this position again as a Hurricane fan with everything going on. And man, I'm really excited for the first. How are you feeling? What are you guys thinking right now, Miami? What a victory, Canes fan. Kermit Russell, run game has to start faster going forward. Okay, I mean, the running game lackluster. Okay, so I'm glad you guys are saying that in the chat, and I'm going to get in. The numbers are exploding. I'm loving this show right now. We're up against our second break. On the other side, I want to talk about the running game. Alex and I mentioned this in the beginning, and we definitely want to talk about this on the other side. We're going to wrap it up. You're watching your Locked On Canes postcast on the Locked On Podcast Network. I'm going like this because we're taking off, baby. Cam and Canes go to 3-0. Your team every day. What's up with the running game? Nothing. 270-something yards tonight. Ease your fears. We'll do it on the other side. It's Locked On Canes postcast. Jim Greasehaber, call me Grease at Jim Grease _ on social media on the Locked On Podcast Network. All right. Where are we? Oh, we're at Factor Meals, man. It is unbelievable. The sponsors we have here with Locked On, great companies, and we're just the plugs for you every single day, just teaching you how to live life. And you can fuel up with Factor's no prep, no mess meals. Meet your wellness goals thanks to the menu of chef-crafted meals with options like Calorie Smart, Protein Plus, and Keto. Factor's fresh, never frozen meals, dietitian approved, ready to eat in just 2 minutes. So no matter how busy you are, you're always going to have time to enjoy nutritious, great tasting meals. And you can just mark today the day you kickstart a new healthy routine. You have to start sometime. Do it anyway. Do it now. What are you waiting for? With 35 different meals and more than 60 add-ons to choose from every week, you'll always have new flavors to explore. You crush your wellness goals with dietitian-approved meals and ingredients that you can trust. From breakfast to dessert, stay fueled with easy nutrition options that make your day delicious. Treat yourself to restaurant-quality meals that feature premium ingredients like filet mignon, shrimp, and blackened salmon. Kitchen time to a minimum. Factor meals ready in 2 minutes. No shopping, prepping, cooking, or cleaning up. My kind of thing. Enjoy effortless support for your lifestyle. Choose from 6 menu preferences to help you manage calories, maximize protein intake, avoid meat, or simply eat well balanced. Head to factormeals.com/LockedOnCollege50 and use code LockedOnCollege50 to get 50% off your first box plus 20% off your next month. That's code LockedOnCollege50 at factormeals.com/LockedOnCollege50 to get 50% off. I'm running out of breath. Your first box with 20% off your next month while your subscription is active with Factor Meals. How about that? That would be like Mel Allen this week in baseball. Man, I'll tell you what, that was like fast. And there we go. Real quick before we wrap it up, I'll take it. Thank you for making Locked On Canes Postcast your first and only listen and watch that matters today. For your second listen, find Locked On College Football. That's right, from NIL deals to never-ending conference realignment rumors. Spencer McLaughlin gets you ready for an exciting season on the gridiron. Find Locked On College Football on YouTube or wherever you listen to podcasts on the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every single day. Jim Greasehaber, call me Grease. And there's Alex Donno. I guess we got him real quick to wrap it up here. The numbers are going through the roof, Alex. And here we go. We got Alex Donno, Locked On Canes. He's doing the network post-game show. Alex, what a day for Miami. It started with the 2.5-hour weather delay. It ended with the most lopsided win, maybe in Miami Hurricanes history.
It ended up being worth the wait. Miami, with 750 total yards, just set a new program record in this one. Miami, with now, I think, 159 points through their first 3 games, has just set a program record for points in their opening 3 games of a season. And I think most importantly, Grease, I loved how Miami was able to pitch the shutout in this one. I mean, the defense was essentially perfect in this game. There were very few errors made, and I know it was against lesser opposition. Obviously, opponent is going to get tougher next week on the road at USF. And speaking of perfection, Cam Ward was close to perfect in this one, threw for 346 yards, 0 interceptions, a career high 5 touchdowns. It was great to see Jacolby George have his best game of the season so far. Restrepo gets another 2 touchdowns. Sam Brown had a couple of big receptions in the game, which was really nice to see. And yeah, this one, Grease, we're going to remember this one, I think, because we continue to see this team come together, and I'm looking forward to seeing what the encore is next week. I also love seeing the running game getting off the ground, so to speak. They ended up with over 250 yards. They started slow. They came on late. So this is a huge win. I'm going to let you keep breaking it down. I'm about to hit it up on post game on WQAM. And Grease, thank you so much for holding it down here on the postcast. And I think this is something, especially after what happened to Florida State today in Florida, Miami fans should be proud of this one all the way, man. So thank you for all the work that you're doing. And you and I will connect again this coming week.
Love you, buddy. We'll see you later. Have a great show.
You too, man. See ya.
Hey, see, there he is. You guys don't have to ask me anymore. Where's Donno? Where is he? There he is. He's going to be on this show every week. We do a crossover show every Friday. The number's huge. They're going through the roof right now. How about that? And for all of you who are saying the running game needs to get going earlier, The passing game is the running game. It is the offense. The short passing game sets up everything for Miami. Cam Ward with the arm strength down the field. So maybe later on they're going to need that running game to step up. And I don't know what's going on with Martinez. I'd like to get that update later on, but Locked On Canes with Alex day in, day out. You everydayers know this. You will get that info from Alex Donno, and I promise you that payoff right there. But when you're looking at this running game, I mean, come on, you look at the yards per carry on the season, guys, and you're looking at, I mean, come on, the yards per carry on the season. You got to look at the yards per carry. I know you think the running game has taken a long time to get going in these games, but that is not necessarily the case, guys. That is not necessarily the case. They use the passing game. In the first half, I thought they would come out today like Alex and I talked about yesterday. Go back and watch the show, man. We thought they were going to come out and pound that football, but this is their identity with Cam Ward. He didn't come here to do that. It's his last year. He came here to sling that rock all over the yard, pick up those first downs, score those touchdowns, put up the video game numbers, maybe win a Heisman and a national championship, not to hand the ball off to guys that are, quite frankly, not getting the job done right now. But one thing I really like about what this team is doing is they have the big guys in Martinez and Fletcher, and then they have Lyle and Allen, and they have these playmakers. You know what I'm saying? So these are the things that they have going here. And Martinez is averaging 6 yards a carry, 26 for 156. Fletcher's at 5.4. As a team, they're at 5.2 yards per carry. And come on, I mean, I don't know how much more you want than that. You say you want them to start earlier and get that, you know what I mean? Get that game going a little bit earlier in the games. And at this point, you're just splitting hairs. The offensive line is dominant. They can run the ball at will if they want to. But when you have Cam Ward and you have a fleet of receivers like they have in Miami right now, are you kidding me? With Restrepo and all those guys and Jacolby and Horton and Sam, I mean, just literally athletes. When's the last time we saw this many athletes all over the field with a quarterback like this, an offensive line like that, a defensive line, and a defensive backfield? I don't want to get too crazy right now, but I said this, and you can go back and watch it. I'm going to be pumping it out on social media. I said it yesterday with Alex. I said, look, this reminds me of when Butch Davis came to Miami, the resuscitation of a giant, the rebuilding of a dynasty, the rising, the rebirth of the U. Butch Davis did it. Howard Schnellenberger did it, the state of Miami. Jimmy and Dennis didn't get the chance, but you know what I'm saying. Davis, Schnellenberger, Cristobal. Those are the guys who have done what Mario's doing right now, and it feels a whole heck of a lot. The atmosphere, the environment, shout out to you, the fans, for making it great at home again. I am pumped after this win. I don't care what anybody says. I'm drinking the Kool-Aid. I'm all the way in. We're starving. We're crawling. We're dragging ourselves through the desert looking for water. For 20-plus years, we've been doing this. Of course, I'm all in. Of course, I am more than optimistic. I'm all the way in and all the way out on that ledge with this team right now. Tell me you're not, Miami. Tell me you are not after every single thing that has happened over these years, from Coker and Shalala and the ACC and good Lord, everything else. Whew. Man, I can take a breath now and let you know that that's all there is, Canes fans. There is no more. Your Locked On Canes postcast on your Saturday. What a day for the Miami Hurricanes. September 14th, they go to 3-0, a record-setting win, 750 yards of offense, 250-plus yards of rushing. They dominate Ball State 62-0. 5 TDs for Cam Ward, 2 to Restrepo. The defense dominates. The biggest discrepancy in yards between Miami and an FBS opponent of all time, and a 62-0 score. Historically speaking, has you thinking about the greatest Miami teams of all time, and next week at USF. That's the big one. The team that hung with Bama for 3 quarters, the Florida Speed all over the field, on the road, need to go up there and make a statement on national TV. Smash that team. Smish. The UFC's in the Sphere tonight. Got to use the UFC or smish. They will smash them on the road next week. And that is, my friends, what needs to keep happening for the Canes. You win the ACC, go right into that 12-team playoff, and then let the chips fall and go beat all those SEC teams and win a national title. Don't forget, Locked On Canes every day with Alex Donno. Locked On Canes postcast after every game. USF next week on Saturday. The kickoff's at 7 p.m. We'll be here right after. And, of course, Locked On Dolphins in the postcast as well. And you will catch all of that on the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every single day. 62-0, Miami. Top 10 already. It's looking like a historic season is on the way and in the making in Coral Gables and the city of Miami. Keep your game tight and your mind right, Canes fans. I'm out. It's all about that you. Dun, 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 dun. MIA, fight, fight, fight. CANES, Canes. See you later, guys. Make it a great night. Jim Greasehaber, call me Grease on the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.